Hello, everyone. This is Andrew the Moo, and we're doing something slightly different today. This is Capcom Classics Collection. This is a collection of a number of arcade games. I can't remember exactly how many off the top of my head, but just a number of games from the 1980s to the early 90s. What would appear on the arcade system. And as you see, there's a bunch of different names that are appearing all at one time. For the Classic Collection, you've got games such as there's Ghosts and Goblins, you get Street Fighter, a host of different games. So, Final Fight. So, I actually had something different planned for the first Let's Play of 2017, but I made the decision kind of literally last minute. 22 Timeless Classics, by the way, on one disc. That I would play something different because I got kind of burnt out on the game that I was playing. I hadn't finished it yet, and to be honest with you, I want to finish up the game before I go any further into it. So I figured this is one of those things where I could record something decently quick. It wouldn't be too many episodes, and it's something that I could kind of get through. So you've got different games. You've got 1942, 1943, 1943 Kai, Bionic Commando, X's, Final Fight, Forgotten Worlds, Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, Gunsmoke, Legendary Wings, Mercs, Pirate Ship Higemaru, Section Z, Sun, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Trojan, and Vulgus. And because of the fact that this is arcade style, to my understanding, there's no game over unless I don't continue. So I figured I wanted to go with a game that I have not played in ages, and that is Final Fight. So, Metro City, a well-known crime capital, has been ruled by violence and death for over many years. In fact, newly elected... I can't talk! But hopefully you'll be able to read that a whole lot faster than I can. The main story is Mad Gear has taken over the city, and Mike Haggar, the new mayor and former wrestler, is trying to take them down. And Haggar gets a call while he is, while he's at work. His daughter has been kidnapped by the head of, Mad Gear. And, so turn on the TV, and what is it that he sees? And the weird thing to me is that guy right there is the one that appears on the television, and yet the funny thing to me is he's not the head honcho, as you'll see here shortly. But Mike Haggar is a character that was, I still can't talk right now. Mike Haggar supposedly was visualized, or rather he was brought up like Jesse the Body Ventura. And we're going to play as Mike Haggar. But there's the guy that was in the video just in front of us. He laughs at us. But anyway, Haggar has the ability to do the spinning arm. And... you get the basic punch button, punch, punch, punch. Stay away from the door because an enemy's going to walk out of that. So yeah, he's got your basic headbutting moves as far as punches, grapples. He can do a flying drop kick. Just your basic weapons for an enemy, for a character like that. You can stand by the door and just take turns waylaying on these guys. They're not that hard whatsoever. And so you shouldn't really have any difficulties dealing with enemies from the get-go of this. I say as I German suplex that guy. Thankfully, Hollywood, I can German suplex him no problems, and he's not worried in the least bit. No, don't leave the money, Haggar. Take the money with you. As I tried to get out a moment ago, Haggar is visualized from Jesse the Body Ventura. As far as the former wrestler, governor of Minnesota, if I remember correctly, he was the governor of Minnesota when we take up that pipe. And so it's funny how that's the first hit you take, and it's from the bald, charging guys. And you just take the pipe to him if you can. You know, the pipe is good for some good hits in. we're just gonna walk out from there real quick. All right, so that didn't take long at all. We got the change of scenery there, and it's just a lot of this that I'm trying to remember at the moment. But yeah, and as you saw, like, he has a lot of the... And I just realized this Axel character, oh, it's the boss of this, who's absolutely just ate me for breakfast. There we go. And I'm trying to look at his names, and his name looks like D-A-M-N-D. So I'm not going to repeat that, but that's the guy's name. And you take down some of his energy. He's going to call some of these thugs in order to help take you out. And then he's going to hit you. He's basically going to get that cheap shot in if he can. And get away from these two fellas. There we go. And he's going to call for some more people, some more thugs to come. And there's a female that joins. If I remember correctly, that's not a chick. Trash. And I get taken down again by this joke named Flame. Roxy. No, that's a different game I'm thinking of. No, stop. That was just really, really bad. Really, really bad. But that takes down these slums. This isn't a really long game, which is the reason why I'm doing this. This cuts me kind of a break between the Let's Play that I have planned and whatnot. But if I remember correctly, yeah, Poison. Poison is the one that I'm thinking of as far as appears in... Stop. See, that's the problem with this game is if you aren't paying attention, you aren't really careful, they're going to absolutely, wreck you pretty badly. There we go. Grab sword, will travel. And, of course, that's going to take her out in one swift hit. I take my samurai sword and I cut you! And Dore is also a character that's familiar to us because he, Poison, I believe they are in Street Fighter, as well as, I think Andori's in one of the Street Fighter games. Poison and Haggar appear in the Marvel vs. Capcom series. So, I wanted to play this game simply because of the fact when I was younger, I used to love arcades. In fact, I remember as a youth, my parents, my brother, and I were at a, if I remember correctly, it was a religious, I call it a religious thing. I really shouldn't really refer to it as a religious thing, but we were at a religious thing. I am about to get a game over, or not a game over, but a continued this fast. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. And with that, I can hit the start button, and you just start back from the beginning. But we ended up going to if I remember correctly, it was a goofy golf place that also had a really big arcade in it. And I, as a youth, have always loved arcades. I really hate the shape that arcades are in nowadays. There we go. Does that take away my health? Yeah, that does take away health from doing that. So I got to be careful about it. But you press jump and punch at the same time. And you can do the special swinging clothesline. Fruit. No. Endore. Stay away from me. Does the beer... Alright. Does the beer give me any health? Because I need health right now. I mean, I don't have to have health because I can go at any pace I want. But anyway, very little health. Alright, so when I was younger, we go to this arcade place. I'll finish my story. And there were so many video games inside of it, so many arcade games, that I made the mistake of saying, I'm in heaven. To the point that there was a news reporter who were talking to my parents about why we were there and what we were doing and things of that nature. And she heard me make that statement to the point where at the very end of the article, she quoted what I said. Dude, stop it. I can do that too. I can do that too, you little jerk. So she has me saying I'm in heaven, and to the point where people would joke with me, and they would come up to me and go, "Are you in heaven now?" And I think my dad actually laminated the news article because it's still kind of a joke. Not really a joke, but it was something in the family that we all found kind of funny. By the way, Axel looks a whole lot like a character of the same name that's in the wrestling game Saturday Night Slam Masters. Yay, swords. Do I have health? Can I has health? Can I has health? No. Come on, just beat people in, beat people up, beat people up. Do what you do best, Mike Haggar. So, but the reason why I mention that is because, meat. I need, like Arby's, this game brings the meats. Come on. Pick up the meat, pick up the meat. There you go. Good job, Haggar. So anyway, like I said, it's kind of a running joke. I loved arcades back in the day, and in fact, I almost had a chance to own my own arcade game as a youth. But let me ask you guys a question. Like, here's what arcades are nowadays. It's like Wren and I visited a Dave and Buster's in Nashville not long ago. We see all these games, and a lot of the games are these shoot 'em up games, which there's nothing wrong with shoot 'em up games. I love the light gun games. I honestly think light gun games are games that people should play more and more of. You know, because light gun games to me are awesome. And I especially love the convoluted zombie games that are just like, like House of the Dead and things of that nature. Just very convoluted, but to me, very fun. Is that it? I wanted the knife. Why didn't you get the knife, Haggar? But somehow this led us to a wrestling ring, where we face off against against Sodom, who cuts me up pretty stinking good. But you get some strikes in on him, and you can knock that out of his hand. And I did such a poor job of fighting against him just then. We're gonna keep playing as Haggar though, because I'm wondering if that's his deal. He'll just kind of act, and he charges me and knocks me down and takes some of my health. But like, it's a bunch of like, what all did we see? Fruit Ninja, or Fruit Ninja, I think is what it's called, or Cut the Rope, and you get tickets from doing that, and then a bunch of light gun games that are like $3, really and truly, if $2-3, if you look at how much they cost. And so these are the basis of the games that you've got. Good night. He's like dealing some damage to me. This is gonna be like the worst Let's Play of Final Fight on YouTube. But that's really and truly what's happened to the arcades. And I remember back in the day where arcade games were like, all right, all right, we're like Street Fighter or Battletoads. One of my favorite arcade games, if I remember correctly, was actually like an Avengers game. That to me was so awesome, because you could play as the Avengers, and you could play as Captain America or Hawkeye or Vision, or I think it was Iron Man. And that to me was one of my favorites. And there's another one that had like Spider-Man going against characters such as Doctor Doom or Venom. Those to me, the beat 'em up games like this, I love them so much. And so I want to know, what games did you like at arcades? And we're going to talk about arcades a little bit more in the very next episode. So we'll